So I just open Navisworks so that I've got a new project. So what I'm going to suggest is that we now build a model from content. I showed you how to create an NFC file or an NWC file, a Navisworks cache file, by just exporting. There are some with the product, so just to give you an idea of how this would work. If I go and I say open a file, what I want you to do is, if you look under that examples folder, let me just drill back so you can see exactly where it was. It was on the C drive, the program files, Autodesk, Navisworks Manage, examples, getting started. And so if it appears like you can't find anything, it's because there are no, the type of file that it's looking for is an NWF, and what you want to see is the Navisworks cache files. Right? This one here, not the file set, but which is the collection of all of the NWCs, but so we're going to bring in the NWC files that were created from the different disciplines. So if I open this, then what I've got is my project file is linked to look at the structure. If I then said append, or just click up here, but I'm going to say append, then what I'm doing is maintaining the link between the file that I had opened and say this NEP cache file. And if I do append again and bring in the architecture, then I've got my third file here. And I think if it were myself doing this, I would start with an empty file and I would append all three cache files rather than begin by opening a cache file, just because it would seem like it's more consistent. So that, but here I've got my my building model with the three things in it, the three different disciplines in it, and I'm ready to start work. What I want to do though is I'm now going to go and I'm going to say let's save this as, and I want to put it in your own folder. It doesn't really matter where it is at all, but notice that it's the NWF file, which is the file sets that we want to keep. So I'm going to suggest that if I have see on my computer, on my desktop, I happen to have a folder called Navisworks Training Demo, and that's where what I'm doing is going to put this file. And let's just say we call it composite building. Actually, let me not deviate too far from the getting started guide. In this getting started guide, it's called Conference Center, I believe. So that would be me saving the file set that references these individual drawings, and that's what we're going to work with for most of the rest of the exercises here. To do things like create sets of specific data or views of specific areas, or an animation as we walk through this building. So I can now know that I'm ready to work with this. Just before I leave this, let me just point out that at the bottom right hand side of your screen it's kind of immediate feedback. If you see when I turn the model, the indicators change to really show me for the center one is how much of my model is loaded, and for the one on the right there is kind of like how much memory is. Sorry, on the left here is how much. How is my system performing in letting me turn and rotate the models? So these are kind of the status. This is the status bar of your efforts to manage the building. If you're going to have a problem because the model were huge, then you get an indication that the response is reported to you down here would be a lot slower. So let me save that.